nastiest pitch that you've seen, and I'll put it in two directions. One, like the actual pitch, like in one particular game, one pitch, but then also just in general, like which pitch are you enjoying watching from starter or reliever on the mound this year?
That's a great question. I think I can come up with two that just hit me off the top of my head as far as nastiest pitch. One is a Joe Ryan sweeper that was originally measured at like 30 inches, and I think they scaled it back to 28 inches of break or something like that. That was insane. It just, all the right elements happened, and the thing just broke like crazy. The other one I was thinking of is Jacob Misiorowski against Willie Castro with that, was a 96-mile-an-hour slider that sent him to the netherworld. That was pretty sick. And as far as guys, I think he might have just the most eye-opening filthy stuff. Like, you have to watch every pitch that he throws because you might see something you've never seen before. But there are a lot of filthy guys out there.
We asked that question. Now I'm like over here. I kind of want Scott to interview both of us, just get the same questions for both, because I was going to say, he's going to say the Joe Ryan sweeper. If I remember correctly, too, I saw it on your account. He also like ran off of the camera screen, and I was like, he kind of went with the ball, which also I think added a little bit. Another question along the lines of nasty pitches. I want to stick to rookies because I feel like you have a pretty good idea. Of the rookies that come up, we can include Misiorowski too. Is there any pitches that you did not anticipate to see that surprised you when you're like, whoa, I didn't know he had that? Is there anyone who's come up this year that has actually blown your mind with the pitch?
Well, there are two guys. I don't know if they surprised me. Misiorowski's one of them. Like, I didn't expect his command to be as good as it had been. Like, he looks like a taller Jacob deGrom at times, and that's ridiculous. The other, I mean, Chase Burns, I knew his slider was really good, but his slider it may arguably end up being one of the top sliders in baseball. Like, he is certified electricity when he's on the mound. And I wish more people would watch that. They pay attention to the runs, which he's had some bad luck. But if you look at his pitches and his strikeouts and his swing and miss stuff, you can't miss that guy.
All right, I've got a rookie for you that a lot of the world maybe has forgotten about because he's been missing for most of the season, but it sounds like he might come back soon, and he's experimenting with a two-seamer. Did you see the recent comments from Roki Sasaki? And do you think that he's going to work on adjusting so that he can, pitch in the big leagues? Not that he couldn't, right? He got hurt. That's really why he's been missing time here. But I thought it was fascinating for him to take us inside, what's going through his head as he's going to rehab here. He thinks that he needs to remodel his game a little bit, which every pitcher does to an extent. What did you think?
I think he's probably right. So his fastball doesn't have, like, it's fast, but it doesn't have amazing characteristics, and hitters are waiting for that fastball because they can't hit his forkball / splitter, whatever he calls it. That pitch is virtually unhittable, but if you eliminate it and you sit on a fastball, you can have some pretty good luck. But adding another fastball variation, you've seen it work with other guys. I mean, Hunter Brown just took off once he added that two-seamer. I think it might help him just keep hitters off that kind of flattish fastball. And, he's young, he's got amazing talent. And I left him out because, yes, his forkball, which it really is one of the filthiest pitches in baseball. But adding that other weapon, I think, is going to be really important for him and could help him succeed in the majors. I think he was caught a little flat-footed by the drop in velo because of the injury, but also hitters, if they eliminate a pitch, they know 100-mile-an-hour fastball is coming. It's easier to hit.
You brought up a great point about the two fastball kind of, to use a gaming term, meta. And I feel like this is something a lot of guys are doing. Like Paul Skeens talked about adding a sinker and a cutter just because, even though he was as good as he can, because he knows what he's going to need as things change. And Rōki, this is a great example. I said this early in the career, in the year too. I'm like, he's going to need something that goes either that way or that way at some point in order to get lefties and righties out and get away from platoon splits. So what is your opinion on, do you think this is having two fastballs, that is, do you think this is a trend that is going to become more necessary and stay necessary for a long period of time? Or is this going to be one of the trending pitches, kind of like everyone threw a sweeper and now we've some of the guys who can throw a sweeper have kind of stopped, and now it's kind of evened out. What is your opinion on the idea of throwing more than one fastball?
I mean, I think that's a great question. To me, the more pitches you have that you can command, the better off you are for even things like tipping pitches. Like if Paul Skeens has 8 pitches, even if he's tipping a little bit, because everybody has something, it's really hard to figure it out if you have 8 different variations of different pitches. So I think that the trend towards more pitches is going to keep going because it's going to be also easier to pick up tips where we have biomechanics basically on the field with Hawkeye stuff. You can run it through AI and figure out what guys are doing differently on different pitches, even if it's a tiny bit different. But if you have to remember 8 different things and remember slight variations, I think it's tougher. So I do think there's a trend towards that. Whether it's all going to be sinkers, I don't know, but we're calling them sinkers. They're not, I mean, some of these aren't even designed to be sinkers. They're 2-seamers that designed to kind of stay up in the zone as opposed to your traditional sinker. So there's so many different variations. I think the trend is more to more pitches that guys can command.
I'm just curious, just quick side question for you. Did you see the Yusei Kikuchi story about how he tried to add a sweeper? And I think he had it, I guess, early in the season, and then it was lowering his arm slot and he felt like it was messing up his other pitches. How often are you seeing that part of the equation where it can actually, I mean, for the most part, it's producing some really cool results for a lot of starters, right? But it could mess you up and like not just be a try and it's like, oh, pass or fail, right? And then I'll throw this pitch out. It could be like, oh, wait, this is throwing my entire game off and now I'm in a rut. And then he's picked it up after he ditched that. But what do you think about that side of the equation?
It's definitely a thing. Like you have to monitor it. It's pitcher specific. Like some guys will manipulate the ball a little more and then they're tipping it, or it's not coming out of the same tunnel that is their other pitches are. It's just easier to pick up. Like a sweeper works for some guys. It doesn't work for other guys because it looks so much different from the rest of their pitches that a hitter can say, they're not necessarily even seeing the spin axis of a pitch. They may be saying, oh, that looks different from everything else I'm seeing. So I know this is that pitch. But some guys, I think Paul Skeens does a great job of just being robotic almost and throwing different pitches. Seth Lugo, he can even vary arm slots. Like you have guys that totally vary arm slots that are successful. Chris Bassett's another guy. But there are other guys where it's just one that's an outlier and then you can pick up on it. Even if it's nasty metrically, it doesn't mean it's nasty in a game.
It's summertime, it's bathing suit time, and it's time to get a better bathing suit liner. It's 2025, Kratz. I would like to feel more comfortable, and I would like to thank Fair Harbor for doing that.
It's super easy. Get the Fair Harbor Breeze Knit liner in your shorts. You can go play football on the beach. You can play paddleball, and you don't got to worry about that crappy liner that other bathing suits have.
It is so comfortable. You got to check it out. I'm telling you, it's like butter, baby. You got to check out the Fair Harbor, not only bathing suits, but they carry a full line of casual clothing, shorts, shirts, hoodies. Go to the website, fairharborclothing.com/foul. and use code FOUL for 20% off your first purchase. That's fair, HARBOR clothing.com/foul for 20% off your first purchase. And make sure that you use the FT promo code so that they know we sent you and you get the discount, FOUL.
We're talking about grabbing a new nasty pitch and deciding when to use it and tipping. And there's a guy that has a new nasty pitch, but may have had a couple different times this year tipping, and I want your opinion on it. Jesús Luzardo added a sweeper, which he could not throw a slider for the life of him. Now he has one of the nastiest ones in that staff even, that has a lot of good pitches. But I think once, maybe even twice, he has had some trouble with tipping his pitches and having them relayed to hitters. Were you able to look at any of Jesus's outings around this time? And did you see any tips? Did you see anything they're picking up? I have my opinion, but I would love to hear yours.
I did, and I'm trying to remember what it was because I did a video comparing the two, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, God, it's on X." And I did the video, and I can't remember because I later did one on Mick Abel too, who was also, I think, tipping, which is why teams were teeing off on him as well. There's just little things like glove position when you're lifting up your glove, and one's going over his shoulder and one's not. I forgot what
I think he was tapping his glove. He taps his glove and he brings the ball.
He was taking it out of his glove really far too, so that you can he was almost showing his grip.
to the
a runner on
sky
base
second
hit.
every time. Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Yep,
that's what
that
it
was
was too. I was hoping you saw that as well. And
That's what it
also with the
was. Yep.
sweeper, he's spiking that a little bit too. So you can see the knuckle. And it's funny because in that outing, you look and on his face, he's like, I know they can see it. I can't stop tapping. Like this is not something I can start doing, which is an interesting situation. But it's one of those pitches. He still threw it, and it was still really good.
One of those things along those lines is like, people are blaming your pitching coach or whatever, but sometimes it's tough to pick up. Like you're seeing a nasty pitch, you can't see everything a pitcher's doing consistently, but the opposing team often does because they're game planning for something. Then it's a cat and mouse game. You have to stamp it out once you see it.
I got one for you on a struggling pitcher. Not necessarily a tip, probably not. I don't think he does that, but I think there was a little blister issue causing a problem. We got a fan question from John in the chat saying, what does Rob think about Max Fried and the ridiculous start to the season that really halted in July, and we haven't seen him pick back up? So have you noticed anything about him compared to what you were seeing at the beginning of the year?
Not tipping wise, but he introduced some new pitches. He introduced new wrinkles on his pitches that I believe his sinker is different. And he's throwing a little cutter thing that's a lot more exaggerated. And I think these hitters are able to game plan it off, over time. And he's been a little just less sharp, but also I believe he had a blister issue, and that definitely causes problems as well. But pitchers add pitches. Hitters are like, I've never seen that before. It doesn't compute. It's not on the scouting report. And then later on, it is on a scouting report, and you can practice against it. So the league can catch up, and then it's up to him to make adjustments to stay ahead. But he's great. Like Max Fried's awesome.
I agree. Speaking of another guy who is now coming back and is part of a team trying to make a push here, maybe even for their own division, that's San Diego Padres. Michael King. We're gonna see the East-West guy back at it. What can we expect from Michael King? What is something you would look forward to as maybe a benchmark to see how sharp he is coming off the aisle?
Yeah, I mean, just making sure his velo is back where it was, and the East-West movement. Like that dude is absolutely filled. He's made for pitching ninja. Like his stuff is just gross both ways. I mean, he throws sweepers that break like well over 2 feet, and sinkers that come back the other way, breaking 2 feet. Like it's absurd stuff. So if he has that type of command, he is an incredibly valuable pitcher. I love watching that guy pitch.
Okay, so this is perfect for me to finish up with my last question. We're hitting Padres. Padres fans are pumped with everything they picked up at the trade deadline, and then you don't even have King for a while. Here comes King this weekend. What about the other side, the Dodgers? Ohtani specifically, what are you seeing from him on the mound this year?
Oh my God. Like he's a guy I can talk about for the next hour and a half if you want me to. But dude, he adds velo. He's throwing 101, topped at 102. His sweeper, I think, has probably got a little less horizontal break, but he's throwing a little harder. His stuff is it's obscene. His slider's been really good. Like just the pure slider, the thing that drops off the table, has been an eye opener for me because I didn't view that as one of his better pitches just in my head. I haven't even looked metrically, but he dominated last game with that. And then also hits 440-foot bombs. Anybody that thinks that dude shouldn't pitch, send him to me, because that guy is, is he not one of the filthiest pitchers in baseball? Is he not one of the best pitchers on that staff? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, maybe whoever's saying that doesn't want the Dodgers to be competitive in October. I mean, it could be a little troll thing, but no, I mean, I've seen it too. It's crazy, and I get it. There's concern. We've had players on our show, right? My buddies Kratz and AJ have at least brought up, how is it going to affect the offense as he gets older, as he gets hurt? It's like, I get all of that, but not if he's pitching like a 1. If he's a 5, okay, and the offense is dipping, okay, you want to make that case, cool. But he's a 1, and he homered the other day when he pitched. So I'm with you, Rob. I don't really see what you're going to do. Now, if he gets hurt in a major injury again, we're going to have this discussion again. But right now, you don't mess with anything, right?
I think people forgot how good a pitcher he is, because you cannot tell me he's not one of the best pitchers on that team. I had a projection the other day, just a crazy thought, that wouldn't it break baseball if like he closes out the World Series for the Dodgers like he did in the WBC for Team Japan? Like if he did that, what do you do? You just like have to bow down to the guy.
It's funny you mentioned that. That was me in the second half of last year. I'm like, will he do it? Just because he would, right? I mean, the Dodgers eventually shut down the thought process there, but I was like, could he just pop up for, I don't know, the World Series? He was going through his rehab. I'm like, could they snag an inning or two out of him? And then, of course, you're getting the pushback, like, oh, well, they're not going to need that. And then Walker Buehler's closing out the World Series, and you're like, no, they would have used a few innings there from Shohei Ohtani, even 80% of Shohei Ohtani. So I'm with you, dude. I hope we see it.
I hope we do too. Like legit, like that would be absolutely amazing. And the Dodgers are fully reloaded now, right? They got Trinan back. They got Glass now back, Snell back. I mean, that's a scary team.